Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr. and the real DV, David Vassegh, freshly back from Arizona. Spent the past few weeks there. Welcome back to L.A. I know you're going to get your feet underneath you and then head to Japan.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. I thought I'd give the guys a breather before we go to Japan together. Blake Trinan is shocked that I am on this trip, so I had to break the news to him. But I'm excited for tonight, a big night with Yamamoto and Sasaki pitching.
And that's why you see a lot of the stars playing tonight. They knew DV wouldn't be there, so they're playing tonight.
Time to show out, and here's what you need to know about tonight's game. The big three at the top of the order. You got the Big Show, Mookie, Freddie, all of them in the starting lineup together for the first time this spring. Yoshinobu Yamamoto gets the start. Roki Sasaki will make his much-anticipated first appearance in a spring game. The goal isn't to win in spring, but they do keep scoring. The Dodgers are now 6-6, having won 4 in a row. Dodgers only have one more week of games in Arizona. They're going to wrap up camp next Tuesday, so their time to get regular season ready, it is winding down. And Kirsten Watson is at Camelback Ranch, joining us live with more ahead of tonight's game against the Reds. Hi there, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, this is what I'd like to say. This is the final tune-up for a lot of these guys. As you mentioned, next week on Wednesday, this team is getting on that flight, heading to Japan, not only for 2 exhibition games, but for 2 regular season games. So right now, things are hoping to get into a really good spot, and that includes Roki Sasaki. For him, we're going to see him make his Cactus League debut, his Dodgers debut today. Dave Roberts talked about what he's hoping to see from him and some of that excitement that comes with it.
Well, I think it's an exciting step for Roki. Obviously, Yoshinobu, the plan is for him to go 4 innings and then have Roki start a clean 5th inning. And it'll be interesting to see, you know, under the lights, big league game, his first facing a major league hitter. So that'll be fun. I'm sure he's going to be amped up. And the goal is to make sure he gets through 3 innings. So I think that's number 1. He's probably going to be a little bit jacked up. So there might be some arm side miss with the fastball because he's so excited. And he's young, he's green, he's continually learning. He's going to pitch once a week, so to give him some consistency on his routine, but making sure that he's got to have the confidence. He's got to believe that we have confidence in him. The velocity is really where we want it to be, where we'd hoped it to be right now this time in camp. The split really plays. His feel for it is really good. On the spectrum of finished product, it's not even close. And it just more speaks to his upside, right? His projection, and that's kind of what everyone knows. So, but I still think his floor, being a really good major league starter with the talent, is obviously high.
Well, the plan for Roki Sasaki today, like Dave Roberts mentioned, is hopefully to get through 3 innings. While this is his Cactus League debut, his Dodgers debut, he might be a little amped up, so they're not really paying too much attention to the results out here. They did see him throw against some minor league hitters from the White Sox side on the backfield about a week ago. In that one, he did also throw 3 innings. The plan was only for 2 innings in that one. But Dave Roberts today, he did confirm that when you look at the season in Roki Sasaki, they're going to give him some runway. He's going to open the season on the big league roster. At the beginning of camp, they were saying that they're hoping that he's going to be that game 2 starter against the Cubs in Tokyo. It hasn't been confirmed just yet. A lot of it has been just seeing how this buildup goes. But hopefully after today, next week, we'll be understanding a little bit more as to what his start in the big leagues is going to be, guys.
Everybody excited to see what Roki Sasaki can do tonight. Kirsten, thank you very much. Right now, let's check out Dave Roberts' lineup card for this game. Very much a regular season type of lineup with the core 4 at the top with Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, and Teo. Will Smith does the catching. Max Muncy's at 3rd base. Tommy Edmonds at 2nd base, batting 7th. Chris Taylor in left. Andy Pages gets the start in center with Yoshi on the mound. Jerry, what sticks out to you?
You're looking at that 4 right at the top, the Big Show. He did okay in his first season with the Dodgers, 50-50. He's your designated hitter. And good to see Fab 5 Freddie back. I know he's been back a couple days. Good to see him in that 3 spot.
I'm with you, Jerry. That's the most important part of this lineup. Freddie Freeman, not only in the lineup, but playing first base. He He told us last week he wanted to play on Sunday so he could see how the right ankle bounced back on the off day yesterday. It obviously bounced back really well for him to be in there.
Well, and you know we're getting close to the regular season when we see a lineup like the one we're seeing tonight in Arizona. You've got Yoshi on the mound, to the 9 guys, Jerry, in the batting order. This is a really good dress rehearsal for this team. They head to Tokyo next week.
It is, and also it's a night game. Guys want to play under the lights as you start to get closer to the regular season, so it's really no surprise. This is a lineup that we will see a lot throughout the course of the season. I know Conforto will be in there a ton, but good to see our guy, especially at the top, getting some burn and getting acclimated again, going 1, 2, 3, 4 along with Will Smith.
Hey, Jerry, you know this. Obviously, being in the batter's box, Freddie Freeman's not going to join Ohtani in the same box, but you got to start getting some lineup chemistry. Time is running out on spring training. There's only 1 week to go. And even Ohtani said last week he would like to get at least 50 at-bats before they leave for Tokyo, so he's halfway there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Plate appearances, seeing the ball. And some guys want to do that backfield to get maybe 8, 9 at-bats, but you're right, Dave. That camaraderie, that also works in the batting order. That's why the batting lineup is so important. You're used to seeing Mookie Betts if you're Freddie Freeman right in front of you. If you're Teoscar Hernandez, you're used to seeing those 3 guys in front of you, so you start to develop that rapport.
And we just saw Will Smith right there. He's going to catch Yoshinobu Yamamoto to start this one. But after Yoshi's day is done, we're going to see Roki Sasaki for the first time in a Cactus League game. DV, what are you going to be wanting to see from Roki tonight?
Well, from what people told me on the backfields after watching him, the #1 thing I'll be looking for tonight is fastball command, because if he does not have fastball command, hitters, even those White Sox minor leaguers, we're not chasing his split-fingered fastball.
100%. And that's the biggest thing is when you have guys with velocity, you start to keyhole. If you're not in that strike zone, you could really hunt that fastball, because that is his #1. That is his bread and butter. He needs to develop that third pitch. I know it's still a work in progress, but fastball command is vital when you have 2 pitches, that fastball and that split.
And I know it's just a spring training game, but you know he's going to have some nerves and some butterflies tonight there in Arizona. We're just getting started. 2 weeks from today, Will Smith will be behind the plate to catch Yoshinobu Yamamoto for that opening game in Japan. Plenty of business to take care of before then, though, including tonight's game against the Reds. First pitch at 5 o'clock. Plus, Tommy Edman played shortstop and center field in the postseason last year. This spring, he's seeing much more time at second base. Is that a sign of things to come in 2025? Dodgers and Cincinnati Reds getting ready to play a game under the lights. That's Mookie Betts in the 2-hole once again for the Dodgers, playing shortstop, and Mookie hitting .267 so far this spring. David Bodie spent the first 6 seasons of his career with the Chicago Cubs before signing with the Dodgers 7 weeks ago. He's enjoyed a really good spring in Arizona. Right now he's with Kirsten for our Dodger Voice, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
Well, I'm joined by David Bodie. And David, what has it been like now, just being a part of this organization, wearing this Dodger blue, getting to know everyone here? How special has this been for you?
I've been here since middle of January, and it's been unbelievable. I've been so blessed and thankful to be a part of this group and this organization, and welcomed, and from front office down, players, staff, support staff, everybody has just been incredible. It's been such a joy to be a part of, for sure. When you were just making the decision to come here, what stood out to you, though, just about this team that was just a priority for you with where you're at in your career? Yeah, I've from afar, you watch, you pay attention to clubs around, and you know, Los Angeles has been one that I've seen multiple players I've played with come over here and have success, and they seem to get the best out of their players from afar. And you know, they called in November and they wanted to have a conversation face to face over, you know, FaceTime or Skype or whatever it was, and like be able to have that conversation. They were just like, this is what we see from you, this is what we can, you know, what we can think we could do with you, and you know what you can do for us. And like, this was like, just, that was so special, just to have them like just have a face to face. Does this work? Do we work together? Does your personality work with our personality, you know? And so have that to start it, and then to know what they've done with other people's careers, like it was a no-brainer to be like, hey, like they can unlock stuff in me and then like make me the best version of myself. Dave Roberts has spoken very highly of you since you've been here. Just knowing the impact you've already had with this group, what does that mean to you? Especially here, you know, he's played with some great players. He is a great player, former great player, and great manager, and you know, he's got incredible talent in this clubhouse. So that's very high praise. I'm very humbled to hear that. Just a great group of guys here too. Like, I mean, just absolute studs. Like, first off on the field, and then personality-wise and humans, just great human beings all around this place, which is pretty cool.
This spring, we've seen you at a lot of just different kind of infield positions, but there is definitely that question mark as who's going to step in at second base. When there's opportunity and knowing that there's a position that's open, a position that you play that is open, what is just your approach with that, with kind of just managing yourself, managing different positions, and of course being that utility player that's so valuable right now in this game?
Yeah, it's you try not to think too much. Those are decisions that aren't for me. Yeah. It's my job to show up, be a good teammate, work hard, and be the best version and play the best that I can. And whatever happens is going to happen. So it's like, I've played GM in my own mind many times, and it never works out. It just creates energy that you can't control, and you spend wasting it on. So like I just focus on what I can do today to be the best David Bodie I can, and let whatever happens happen.
All right, here's what's ahead on the Cactus League calendar. Hard to believe the Dodgers break camp next Tuesday. Just one more week to catch your Dodgers in Arizona, so be sure to plan your road trip as soon as possible. Friday night's the final night game of the spring. Dodgers facing the Mariners. Reminder, the time change on Sunday. So the final 3 games, 1 o'clock Pacific time. All games right here on Sportsnet LA. So we have 12 games in the books. We've got 8 games left to play on the home stretch now. Davey, you were out in Arizona the last few weeks. So what's been your biggest takeaway from the Dodgers camp?
The biggest thing is what we've talked about all off season. Mookie Betts at shortstop, a way more confident player than what we saw at any point in time last year. That's what everybody's talking about, just how confident he is at that position. And, you look at some of the other pitchers in camp. Dustin Mays looked really good. Tony Gonsolin's looked really good bouncing back. To me, the biggest news out of the bullpen is that Evan Phillips told me last week he considers himself a healthy pitcher. It's just a matter of him getting built up, so that's great news.
Great news.
I love that you mentioned Mookie Betts. Obviously, we know the bat. That is so important, but him being that everyday shortstop, we mentioned it, John. I saw him right before camp. I was like, wow, he is a totally different player. But that's the biggest thing, his confidence. Now it's translated now to games played in spring training. That is good to see. But really, the most important thing is guys getting acclimated. We know we got a great team. We know that. But making sure we hit the ground running when the bell rings in Japan.
Dave Roberts, all smiles out there in Arizona. Good to see Doc looking to
He's always smiling.
He is always smiling. And why wouldn't he?
It's a great team.
He's got a great roster, and he's coming off a World Series championship as well. Still more to come. Our first look at the big show tonight, leading off, followed up by Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and what is a monster Cactus League lineup for your Dodgers. Taking on the Reds in just a few minutes.
さあ、ドジャースファンの皆さん、ついにシーズン開幕が目前に迫ってきました。スプリングトレーニングも大詰めを迎え、チームは一戦一戦、確実に開幕へ向けた準備を進めています。ここまでのキャンプを振り返ると、選手たちはそれぞれの役割をしっかりと果たし、個々のパフォーマンスが向上し続けています。そして、今夜の試合ではついに大谷翔平、ムーキー、ベッツ、フレディ、フリーマン、テオスカー、ヘルナンデスのビッグ4が揃い踏み。これは2025年シーズンのドジャースの攻撃力を象徴する瞬間です。開幕戦へ向けてここでどのような仕上がりを見せてくれるのか大いに注目が集まります。特に今夜の試合の見どころは山本由伸と佐々木朗希の豪華リレー。新たにドジャーブルーに加わった日本の2大エースがついにメジャーのマウンドで本格始動する瞬間がやってきました。山本由伸は4回まで投げ、5回からは佐々木朗希がメジャー打者と対峙します。これはまさに歴史的な一戦です。日本球界を代表する2人がアメリカの地でどのような投球を見せるのか、メジャーリーグ全体が注目していると言っても過言ではありません。ドジャースの首脳陣も結果よりも経験と語っており、今日は彼らの可能性と将来性を見極める大事な試合となります。これまでのスプリングトレーニングの成績を振り返ると、ドジャースは現在4連勝中。もちろんスプリングトレーニングは勝敗が全てではありません。しかしそれでもチームの仕上がりの良さは目に見えてわかります。特に大谷翔平のバットは日に日に鋭さを増し、ムーキー、ベッツのショート適応力も完璧なものになりつつあります。フレディ、フリーマンも試合感を取り戻しつつあり、ここからさらに調子を上げていくことでしょう。そして 今夜のもう一つの注目ポイントは、佐々木朗希の登場。彼のピッチングに対する期待は日に日に高まっています。最速103マイル、166km の強し速球は、果たしてメジャーの打者たちにどれだけ通用するのか、日本で見せたような圧倒的なピッチングを再現できるのか、この試合を通じて、彼の実力がどこまで通用するのかが試されることになります。ドジャースのファンはもちろん、MLB 全体が注目しているこの一戦、今日の登板でどのようなインパクトを残せるのか、楽しみでなりません。また、チーム全体の調整も順調に進んでおり、開幕戦への準備が着々と整っています。スプリングトレーニングも残り1週間、いよいよドジャースは日本へと飛び立ちます。東京ドームでの開幕戦は、シカゴ、カブスとの対決、大谷翔平にとっては、これが日本での公式戦ということもあり、これまで以上の注目が集まっています。日本のファンの前で、彼がどのようなプレーを見せるのか、その活躍が、チームにとっても大きな刺激になることは間違いありません。ドジャースが日本のファンにどのような姿を見せるのか、メジャー最高峰のチームとして、日本の野球ファンにその実力を証明することができるのか。日本での試合は、ただの開幕戦ではなく、ドジャースのプライドをかけた重要な戦いになります。そして何より、大谷翔平にとっては特別な意味を持つ試合。彼が再び日本のファンの前で躍動する姿は、多くの人々の記憶に残る瞬間となるでしょう。ここまで読んでくれた皆さんも、ドジャースの開幕戦を絶対に見逃すわけにはいきません。今シーズンのドジャースは、史上最強と言われるほどの圧倒的な戦力を誇ります。このチームがどんな伝説を作り上げるのか、一緒に目撃しましょう。さらに、開幕戦だけでなく、今後のシーズンも目が離せません。特に投手陣の充実度は圧倒的で、山本由伸、佐々木朗希に加え、ダスティン、メイヤ・トニー、ゴンソリンといった実力派投手が揃っています。ブルペン陣も安定感を増しており、シーズンを通して高いレベルのピッチングを維持できるでしょう。また、野手陣の層の厚さも見逃せません。大谷翔平、ムーキー、ベッツ、フレディ、フリーマンという強力打線に加え、新加入のテオスカー、ヘルナンデスや成長著しい若手選手たちが加わり、シーズンを通して強力なオフェンスを展開することが期待されます。特に、ムーキー、ベッツがショートに本格的に適応しつつあるのは、チームにとって大きなプラス要素となるでしょう。ドジャースの2025年シーズンは、ただ強いチームではなく、歴史を作るチームとしての戦いになります。メジャーリーグの歴史に新たな1ページを刻むために、選手たちは全力でプレーし続けることでしょう。そして、ファンの皆さんも、彼らの戦いを共に応援し、一瞬一瞬を楽しんでいきましょう。もしまだチャンネル登録をしていない方は、今すぐ登録を。これからも大谷翔平、山本由伸、佐々木朗希、ムーキー、ベッツらの活躍をどこよりも熱くお届けします。ドジャースの戦いをリアルタイムで追いかけ、毎試合の興奮を皆さんと共有できればと思います。さらに、試合後の分析やインタビューなど、シーズンをより深く楽しめるコンテンツもどんどんお届けしていく予定です。それでは、次回の試合でまたお会いしましょう。今シーズンも一緒にドジャースを応援し、彼らの伝説を見届けましょう。